even if it wasn't made for that show.
All right, guys, welcome to another episode of Past the Rock Podcast. Hope you guys are having a great fall. Summer's over. Weather is getting cold, windy, and rainy. But today I have a special guest in the studio with me. Her name is Brittany. Y'all might know her on Instagram. She's into fashion, modeling, all that. How's it going today, man?
Pretty good.
How was your trip to Dallas today?
It was okay.
It was okay?
Yeah, it was just a lot of traffic, but it's okay.
Okay, let's go right into it. So, fashion. What sparked your interest into like the brand that you've built for yourself today and where you are? Was this something that you had from the jump, kind of like from like growing up, or is it just something that just sparked up like in college or somewhere along that line?
Well, so I always saw myself going into fashion. I never thought I was gonna go into it like full time.
Mm-hmm.
But I always saw myself going into fashion. Like when I was younger, I just loved dressing up. Always loved dressing up. And then when I got to high school, I started dressing up even more. And then when I got to college, I decided, to take things up a notch. So I started creating lookbooks, like online lookbooks. So basically what it is just I would take pictures, like my friends would take pictures of me in like different outfits, different styles, and then I'll upload on the website. So I started off doing that in like 2018. And then I went to Tokyo 2019, summer 2019. And Tokyo, if you don't know, Tokyo, their fashion is way different than the U.S. It's amazing, honestly. So when I was there, I would just get inspired left and right, inspired by everybody walking the streets and everything. So I decided, I want to kind of change my brand a little bit. At first, I went by Styles X Brit. That was the name of my website and where I posted my lookbooks. And then in Tokyo, I did a whole rebrand and rebranded to BrittLooks. So BrittLooks is what I decided to go by. The reason why I chose BrittLooks is because my name is Brittany, and we having looks, so it's kind of how it came up. But yeah, so when I was in Tokyo, I decided to start a YouTube channel. I started filming lookbooks in Tokyo and posted my first YouTube video probably the end of summer 2019. Mm-hmm. And so since then, I was like, okay, let me take this YouTube thing a little bit serious. So started making more videos. The goal with YouTube was just to bring my online lookbooks more to life in the video wise. So I just started making videos and kind of stopped the online lookbooks. And then what happened next? Oh yeah, so then I started getting a lot of traction. And then when quarantine happened, I think it just sparked a new creativity in me. So when quarantine happened, I was at home all the time, so I started making TikToks and videos. And so I posted my first TikTok, and it got I think 80,000 views, which was really good because it was my first TikTok.
80,000, in your first?
Yeah, first one.
Views? So how many likes was it? Do you know?
I have no idea. It was probably 20K likes.
That's pretty good for your first TikTok.
Yeah, it was my first TikTok. I think the reason why I got so many views was because everybody was on TikTok at that time. Mm-hmm. So I started. So once I saw that, I posted it on Twitter, and it went. I guess you could say it went viral on Twitter, kind of. Yeah. So yeah, I went viral on Twitter, and then I started making more videos and started getting more traction. And then there was this point in time. I think it was the end of 2020 when I decided to post my TikToks on Instagram, as Reels. And so I started doing that, and surprisingly, I didn't think it was gonna blow up, but it did. And so that's when my Instagram followers started going up, and then TikTok started going up. So I was like, you know what? Let me just turn this into something like a real brand. So that's when I decided to start my styling page. On Instagram. I didn't really start it to start styling other people. Mm-hmm. I just started just to challenge myself a little bit, but people started hitting me up to style them. That's when, started getting into more styling with other people. And then I decided, to be honest, I really don't like styling other people, which is surprising.
Why not?
Only reason why is because styling other people, it just comes with a lot. You have to factor in their sizes, what looks good on them, what they like, what they don't like, their budget. It just comes with a lot. I only like it when it's creative styling, like say for example, like for a photo shoot or something.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's just like personal styling, like you got, you know, an event to go to, you want me to style you, it's just like I really don't do that, you know. So, you know, I kind of took a step back from styling a little bit to just focus more on like, you know, developing my brand, trying to gain, you know, more traction, more people to, you know, follow me and whatnot. And then I decided that I wanted to start designing. So I will be starting a brand soon, a clothing brand. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to probably focus on that a lot more. But yeah, like BrittLooks is just like, I don't know how to explain it. Like BrittLooks is just, I would say it's just like a creative brand, you know, with everything like styling, designing, content creation, just everything. So I'm going to try to, you know, turn into something like really big. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad you talked about quarantine because I was going to ask you about that. Like, I feel like quarantine just messed everybody up.
Yeah.
Especially like people who, well, it depends. So for people who needed like a crowd, for people who need like actual physical contact for their brand, it really kind of slowed people down.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it gave so many people like the idea of you can do so much in social media. Like you've never seen DJs DJ on Instagram Live. Like that doesn't happen because we can just hear them at the club. You've never seen just virtual fans in a game because, I mean, you could just come to the game. So I feel like quarantine definitely either just made or destroyed a person's brand. Like for people who just absolutely needed you in person, like, and they couldn't find another way, like their brand went down, and hopefully it's going up now. But TikTok is probably the biggest blow up of quarantine. Like I feel like TikTok really made a lot of people rich. Like there's a lot of people that we didn't know. Like so look how many people became famous over quarantine. Like off nothing. And I feel like quarantine really showed the whole nation that you don't actually need in-person contact. Like even jobs. You don't really, like we have nurses working from home now. It's like, bro, we really don't need in-person contact. But during quarantine, I feel like everybody had a wake-up call. Yeah. In one way or the other. What would you say was yours, like when it comes to you as a person and you with like your goals and what you wanted to do?
I would say like my wake-up call was the fact that, you know, I was graduating like the following year. And I didn't really know what I was going to do. So I was like, you know what? It's either I take this fashion thing seriously or like I decided to go to grad school. So that's when like I decided to just start creating videos. And then one thing that really inspired me was, I don't know if you know who he is, but Wisdom Kai. He's like the best fashion guy on TikTok.
I don't think I know him, but
yeah, but he inspired me the most. Yeah, he inspired me the most because like he started posting videos and like his stuff was just like blowing up. I was like, you know what, I can easily do this, you know. So that's when I started to do that. And once I started seeing him like get all these brand deals and stuff, I was just like, wow, like that could be me. So that was kind of like my wake up call. I was like, you know, I have all this like talent, all these ideas, like. And, you know, why not do it? So I think just like seeing other people like do what you want to do, and then like the fact that I was graduating and I need to figure out what am I gonna do. So yeah, that was kind of my wake up call.
So talk to me about the first time you got your, I guess it's not sponsorships, like so people reaching out to you to advertise their brand and stuff. Talk to me about that. Do you remember what brand it was and like how was that feeling for you?
I can't remember what brand it was, but I can talk about like the first time like a big brand reached out to me. So a big brand that reached out to me was Meshki. I don't know if you've heard of Meshki before, but like they're a big fast fashion brand. They reached out to me from TikTok, and they wanted to send me like $1,000 worth of clothes just to make like one TikTok video. I was like, oh, of course, like I can do that. So when I did that, like when I made the video for them, they weren't paying me. They were just going to send me clothes. So I was like, you know, I don't care. Like I shop here anyway. So when I made the video, I didn't expect it to blow up. I was just like, you know what, let me just put this video out there and do what I do. And it got like, I think got over like 300,000 views on TikTok. And I was like, wow, like, dang, like, you know, I really do this, you know? So I was like, okay, then I think after that, like a lot of more brands started hitting me up, like Pretty Little Thing. I don't know if you heard of them. Pretty Little Thing, Boohoo, Misguided. A lot of fast fashion brands started hitting me up, and also small brands too. So like after that, like, I realized, yeah, I can really do this, like, for real. But yeah, like, that's kind of how that happened.
So at what point would you say, because I mean, when it comes to like doing stuff for like, especially even big brands, the first time you hear from them, it's like, okay, that's amazing. Like, I want to do this. But at what point were you like, okay, I can't keep doing this for free? Like, if I'm obviously giving y'all publicity, like I deserve something. Like, what point did you get there?
So remember, one brand that reached out to me, Opoly. I don't know if you heard of that, but Opoly, like, they sell dresses, they sell really like quality clothes. And so they reached out to me through Instagram, and basically what they were saying to me, they wanted to send me like one dress, and then I'll make a video for them, like put it in my video. I was like, okay, yeah, it's a big brand, why not? So I did it, and they really liked the video, and they asked me to do it again. I was like, sure, why not? Did it again, they asked me to do it again. I was like, okay, let's talk about, what about some compensation, And so I asked them, and they were like, oh, well, at the time we're not doing this and this. I was just like, okay, fine, whatever. So I did it that last time, and then that was it. 'Cause like, I guess it really just depends. Like, if I really, really like your clothes, and if you're actually sending me a lot of clothes to make one video, then I'll consider it. But it gets to a point where it's like, okay, I'm doing all this work. These videos are blowing up, like these videos are really blowing up. Like, what am I getting out of it? And so I wasn't getting anything. So it really just depends, like, on if I really want the clothes and, what's in it for me. So.
You just talked about being in Japan. First of all, did you just go?
Oh,
or
no.
were you, okay.
So I had an internship there. Yeah, so it was like an intern abroad thing with UT. So I just did that for like an entire summer. So.
How was that? Like, so I know you mentioned, you said that you really, like, their fashion is that crazy?
Yeah, yes.
Okay. So talk to me about like the difference in like fashion from like, here in America, there's like, different trends depending on where you go, like Texas, New York, all these kind of places. Like, what, like, how different is it from here?
I feel like in Tokyo, like, their style is way more elevated. Like, it's more of like you see high fashion on like runways and stuff, but like high fashion to them is like their streetwear, basically. So it's like they're walking around with like crazy clothes. Like, I was looking like basic there, So I was like, wow, like that's what was really inspiring me. And especially to like take my style to like the next level, because them, like, they're doing it so casually, like it was nothing, But if they were to be in the U.S., everybody would just be staring at them like, wow,
This is a lot.
That's like, yeah, that's how I was. I was like, wow, like this is what I'm trying to be on. So, yeah, that's kind of how like their style is. It's like way more elevated than U.S.
So when it comes to, I feel like just looking at, what you've portrayed, like even on your page and your TikToks and everything, you are someone that kind of stays in tune from, the current dress code all the way to like throwbacks and all that kind of stuff. So which era is your favorite era of like dressing? Like, is it like the 2000s, the 90s, recent times?
Yeah, I want to say the 90s for sure. 90s,
for sure?
Yeah. Only because like, especially with like big brands like Chanel, their 90s throwbacks, that's really what inspires me. A lot of times like the streetwear back then too is kind of how like it is right now, So I feel like fashion does repeat itself a lot, and I feel like a lot of times it's repeating from the 90s. So I feel like that's why. Yeah.
See, the 90s is actually okay. So I don't know how you're gonna feel about this. Don't come for me, but I feel like the 80s is very slept on when it comes to like fashion. But at the same time, the 80s is not just what you can just walk out and wear in the streets. But if you're talking about like late 80s, like 87 to 89, like I feel like it was like that transition from, because I feel like in the late 80s was when they started wearing the jumpsuits and stuff with the bucket hats. Like, that was when that transition came in, and then the 90s, it was like solidified. Because obviously just off the fact that in the 80s, at least early 80s, coming from the 70s or whatever, it's more like tight pants, tight clothing, a lot of suits, afros or whatever. And then going to like the 80s, it's like jerry curls were thin already, but it's like, okay, we can have this hairstyle, but also wear baggy jeans or wear this track suits and all that kind of stuff. I really think the 80s is slept on. Like, I've been like, how people always throw like 2000s parties, 90s
Yeah.
parties, 70s parties, 80s. What happened to the 80s?
I think the reason why is because like the 80s, I feel like 80s was like there was a lot of color going on, like,
Yeah.
and I feel like nowadays like not a lot of people just experience like they don't really do a lot of vibrant color when it comes to like the way they dress, you know. So I feel like that's mainly the reason why. Because when I think about the 80s, I just think of color, like that's it. Like,
For real?
Yeah, like just vibrant colors. Like I don't know if that's the 80s or not. That's definitely the 80s.
That's
Yeah,
probably the 70s. Because when I think about the 80s, I think about like, at least from 85 to like 80s to like 89, I think about like NWA type fashion. Like people wearing a lot of football and basketball
Yeah.
paraphernalia. Like it starts off then. Like this is when people start wearing like baggy jeans with baseball hats a lot. Especially in like LA and New York. Like this is when people start wearing the bigger clothings. I really don't know exactly when it just switched over.
Yeah.
But it was just, I feel like that year, like the 80s was the transition year and the 90s was, okay, this is what we wear now.
yeah.
Kind of like how coming from the 2000s, it's like baggy jeans, and then you got to like 2012, 2011, it was like more skinny jeans, but there
Yeah.
were still people who wore like baggy jeans. But like now it's like, okay, we know what we're wearing. Like no one's wearing baggy jeans except as like, unless it's like maybe cargo pants or like people just, you know, doing their own thing.
Yeah.
But you just don't see that usually. But I feel the 80s is slept on a lot.
Okay, I can agree. Yeah.
You think so? Okay,
can
yeah.
agree.
That's what I
Yeah.
wanted. Because also back, you know, like the big gold chains, like the
Yeah.
huge gold chains, it kind of started back then.
You sure that wasn't the 90s though?
It because
Maybe.
my thing is like, if you look at, so for example, like a very prominent rap group that came from the 80s is NWA. Obviously, they became more famous in the 90s. But then when you look at when they started off, like even watching the biopic, watching their documentaries, like biopic you can say is maybe biased, but from their documentaries, you can see the way they dressed. Like
Yeah.
Dr. Dre and them were wearing, you know, the tight stuff because they were DJing for that one guy. And then after they they left him and came over to NWA, they were kind of like wearing the baggy jeans and stuff. They started the whole era of, okay, we're like, I guess, you know, gangster rap, you know, we're going to wear all black and white and like baseball hats and baggy jeans. We're going to look fierce and different from like a lot of people. And then that fashion trend started. But then in the 90s, it was like, it's already like, you know, at first everyone was like, bro, we're used to disco and well, maybe not R&B, but like pop type stuff. Like no one was listening to gangster rap. So it was like, when gangster rap became a thing, then
got a
they started
point.
wearing that.
Okay.
If that makes sense. Because I feel like we can both agree that like music plays a big role in fashion.
Oh, of course. Yes.
And
for
how
sure.
has that played a role in your life and, you know, the way you dress and stuff?
I would say, well, now that like social media is like a huge thing now, and all you see on the internet is like you see these celebrities, you see these artists. I think it's played a role in the fact that like when Fashion Week comes around, like the ones that get invited are like the celebrities and the artists, and like just seeing the way like they're styled and the way they dress. For example, like Cardi B, like for some reason, like she, I don't know where she just, you know, started, you know, dressing, you know, I don't know, like her team is just doing a great job. And I would say for like right now, like she's become like a big inspiration for me with fashion, which is surprising because I never would have thought that, you know, Cardi B. But I would say like the way these artists and like when it comes to like Fashion Week, you know, especially like the Met Gala, you know, a lot of artists get invited there, and just seeing the way they dress, seeing how they're styled and everything. Like I think that's what kind of like inspires me when it comes to like trying to, you know, take my style to the next level and like really elevate it.
Yeah, definitely. That makes sense. Music, like I've always made a funny joke around my friends and stuff. I always be like, you know, some dressing looks very stupid. You know, we look at it, we're like, bro, that sucks. Like, who's doing that shit? And then Young Thug wears it.
Yeah.
Okay, it's Young Thug. Then it's like Gunna. Then it's maybe Travis Scott, Drake, and it's like, oh, okay. All of a sudden, like, because honestly, a lot like ripped jeans. I feel like the first time anyone wore ripped jeans, it's like, why are you ripping your clothes?
Yeah.
Like that doesn't make sense. And it's
True.
like even like, you know, like our parents, like the older generations, they're like, that's
They
stupid.
hate
Like
it,
why
yeah.
you wearing like, especially like coming from an African home, like my parents always they'll be like, bro, like why is your clothes ripped? Like go put your clothes back together type stuff. And even when distressed jeans and jackets and shirts, jeans was more like, okay, it's acceptable, sure. And then jackets and shirts,
It's like,
it was like, okay.
Yeah.
But it's like then athletes start wearing them, musicians start wearing them. actors start wearing them, like famous people start wearing them, and it's like, maybe it's not that bad. And it's like, even when it comes to hats, like for example, like I'm literally about to demonstrate something to you right now. So I have this hat on right now, and I'm about to put it in different, like, there's different styles of hats.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like, so if I put my hat like this, what era are you thinking about right now? Like hat facing upward, like
I don't know.
Like Wiz Khalifa, like jerk era type stuff. So like 2010,
okay.
2008,
Okay.
and then you put your hats backward, and it's like more like early 2000s.
Yeah.
Like people are like, okay, that's like the Jay-Z and them and everything. And then now we're back to wearing our hats like this.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy, and like I feel like it's a whole cycle because it's, we started off when hats are supposed to be worn this way.
Yeah.
Okay, we wear hats like this. And then someone was like, no, I want to put my hat sideways. Okay, well, let's put it sideways.
Yeah.
I want to put it backwards. Let's put it backwards. Okay, let's face it up. And then we came all the way out of doing all of that. We came right back to putting it back forward. And it's so crazy because I feel like even with like pants and shirts, it's come to that because, we went from regular jeans, then tight jeans, then baggy jeans, then back to regular jeans, and then back to tight jeans. It's just crazy.
Yeah.
Like fashion is actually...
Yeah, it always repeats itself. Always, yeah.
And you had said something earlier about how, and that makes complete sense, about how when it comes to fashion, it really depends on the person. And I feel like a lot of people don't really understand that. Like, one thing looks good on that person, but might not look good on you because of maybe how you carry it, or, everyone's shaped different and all that kind of stuff. Like, tell me your perspective on that when it comes to...
Yeah. When it comes to that, like, that's really my biggest thing. Because a lot of times, like, someone will see something on somebody else and try to buy the same thing, it don't look the same, And I feel like when it comes to fashion, like, understanding your body type is like one of the most important things ever. Like, understanding like what looks good on you, like how it like fits on you is just so important. Especially like, for example, like Rihanna. Like, Rihanna could wear anything. Anything can look good on her. But if, a regular person was to wear it, it would be like, exactly. So I just think, like, paying attention to your body type and, like, how clothes fit you, because you never want your clothes to wear you. Like, you need to wear your clothes, So paying attention to, like, your body type, your physique, all of that is just so important when it comes to, like, fashion. So, yeah.
You don't want your clothes to wear. You tell that to the older rappers when shirts used to be right here. Like, fashion is it's actually so crazy. But yeah, I feel like that's very prominent, especially with like this generation. Like, everyone is so, like, when it comes to even going out, like, there are people that are so wired to the point, and there's nothing wrong with this, because I'm a fan of, like, look as good as you want to look, you know? Like, if you're going to McDonald's and you feel like I got to wear some jeans and some live ass shoes with a nice t-shirt, if you think that's what you need to wear, like, who am I to tell you? Oh, I can laugh about it, but it's like, bro, if that's what you need to wear that. And my thing is, like, I feel like fashion is also, it's just kind of like judged from the majority, because it's like someone's trying to go out to a party or some kind of event or something like that, going out to the bars or whatever, and they're looking at themselves in the mirror like, I don't know how this is gonna look. It's like the fact that, like, bro, everyone's guilty. Like, I'm guilty of this. Like, the fact that, like, we can't just wake up and be like, I'm gonna wear this today. Like, we have to go to our closet and be like, I'm not gonna wear this. And then we put something on. We go to, like, people around us and, like, hey, what do you think? Is this good? Is it, like, it's so crazy. Like, I don't think there's anyone in this world who just puts on clothes and just walks out of their house without like double checking with themselves or anybody else. And that's never gonna stop, bro.
It's not.
Like, it's just gonna be something that continues to go on. Speaking on celebrities, who are some of your top? Who do you think are the best dressed celebrities right now?
Let's see. I want to say Rihanna, Cardi B.
I don't pay attention to Cardi B's dressing like that.
Okay, recently, like, her looks in Paris Fashion Week, she's been doing it, So I want to say Rihanna, Cardi B. I think those are, like, my main two for girls. But let's see, for men, I want to say Travis Scott. I like Travis. I'm gonna say Kanye, because he does things. I want to say Kanye because he does things like I don't know how to explain it. Like, I think he does things that people wouldn't think of,
Mm-hmm.
and then like because he does that, like everyone starts gravitating towards it, you know. So it's like for example, like his Yeezy slides when he first put those out, I was like, those are so ugly, so ugly. And then you know people started wearing it, and I was like, you know, maybe they're not too bad.
But also,
And
what sold me on those, like, people say they're comfortable.
they are, and I have some, you know. So it was, you know, I looked at like the first time I saw them, I was like, I'm never getting those, and you know, ended up getting them anyway. But yeah, so I would say Kanye, Travis Scott for the guys. Who else?
But my problem with Kanye though is just the fact that like sometimes he's so random that it's like, bro, like this is kind of OD. Like what's going on? Like putting a mask that covers like.
Yeah.
And then Kim Kardashian wore that. Like what is this? Like are we like is this the apocalypse? Like. It's crazy to me, but at the same time, as crazy as it sounds, people still do it. Like people, like Halloween's coming around. Someone's gonna be dressed as Kanye for Halloween with that mask on, and it's kind of crazy. Like, but Kanye, I don't know. Travis Scott, definitely.
Yeah.
I might be biased because I love Travis Scott.
I love Travis Scott too.
But like, I feel like Travis Scott has held on to the reason why I think he's really good at like dressing and stuff is because he's held onto his own style.
Yeah.
Ever since, like he hasn't. I don't think you can count how many times you've seen him with like skinny jeans because that's just not him. Like he wears a lot of like baggy stuff, cargo pants. He can wear baggy jeans right now. He's good because that's his style. So I think that's really good. But Kanye,
yeah, I'm only saying Kanye because he just does stuff that are just so different, and then everybody just ends up like gravitating towards it, you know. So that's why it's kind of why I like Kanye.
I think Kanye's a genius when it comes to a lot of things, including fashion. Like I said, I just think sometimes he ODs. But I think like he's a genius, like even with his brand.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just the fact that even the first Yeezys ever came out, everyone was like, what the hell is that? Like, I'm not wearing that. Like, it's like, first of all, the color is brown. No one really cares to wear brown like that. Unless you're Travis Scott, he likes brown a lot. But it's like, bro, it's brown. It's like dirty colors. Like everyone wants like black, maybe white, and then colorful stuff. Like no one just wants to wear like dirty brown.
Exactly.
And it's like now everyone's waiting for Yeezys. Like people are fighting for Yeezys. Like people are like, oh, that's too expensive. That's an Adidas shoe. I can wear that at the gym. Now everyone's fighting for him.
Exactly.
So I feel like his marketing scheme is crazy, but it works.
Yeah.
Like it literally works, and that's why I think he's a genius. Like I feel like everything he does, or a lot of the things he does, is purposeful, and he has a lot behind it. So I can understand where you're coming from.
Yeah.
But I'm still growing on his style though, a little bit.
Yeah. Understandable. But yeah.
When it comes to like the big stages and like maybe getting featured on a page or maybe going to an event, like what is one of your dream things to do? Like is it like, the Met Gala, like something that you just want to go to or like be a part of that you have set for yourself right now? What would that be?
Attending the Met Gala. That's really on my top list. Is just going to Met Gala.
How does that invite go?
I don't know. That's the thing. I don't know. Like I really don't know. But after seeing like this past Met Gala that just happened recently, I'm realizing that like a lot of people that do get invited are like stylists. So that's kind of why like I'm trying to still keep styling people and whatnot, just so I can get invited one day to the Met Gala. But that's one of my big goals is to go to Met Gala.
Okay. Maybe this is a boost, but the one thing about like these events is you're on TikTok or Instagram or Twitter just scrolling. You see some dude who went viral at McDonald's. And a month later, he's at a big event. You're like, bro, you were just at McDonald's. Like, what is this? Like, it's so crazy how fame, like, little things can take you places. Like, somebody, like, people literally get made fun. Like, people make a funny-ass video that's supposed to be laughed at and looked forward on. But then they get so many views and they just kind of make it their brand. They start making clothing. They start making videos. And it's like, okay, I fuck with these people. And then all of a sudden, they're, like, right there. Like, for example, Mark Phillips, he's good at what he does though. Like he was just a guy recording off his phone, doing like anime stuff. They actually started off a podcast because they would like stream their video games and they would talk about it and stuff. And all of a sudden they started doing skits with anime and life as a black person and stuff. And now he met LeBron James. Like he's getting invited to things. He met J. Cole. He's in J. Cole's music video, and it's just like, how does like the generation we're in, like I said, Like it takes a lot to as much as failure is like you can't avoid it because everyone's gonna fail at some point. But like it takes a lot to actually just not, create something for yourself. Like
Yeah.
now, not saying that everyone's gonna go on TikTok and create something and they're gonna be on the TV or at Met Gala or meeting LeBron James or anything like that. But it's like we're at such a point where it's like there's so many things we can do. Like if you cook food and you're trying to get your catering business out there, go on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, post your food. Like you know what you're good at. If you're good at making a certain type of food, post those ones so you can get so much attention, and then you can work on the other stuff that you're trying to perfect. Exactly. And it's like I feel like even if you were to post on on Instagram, on TikTok and stuff, and it's not getting good feedback, I feel like that is not the avenue for you to be like, okay, well, it's just not working for me. I personally think you look at the things that just didn't work, because like a place like TikTok is I realize TikTok is worse than Twitter.
Can work on TikTok,
honestly. But like
anything.
TikTok is worse than Twitter. Like when it comes to like aggression, like when it comes to like it's neck and neck. Cause like Twitter, there's no no one holds back, but at the same time, some people at the back of their mind are like, okay, my job might see this. But on TikTok, no job is checking TikTok like that, unless like your TikTok is just that crazy.
Because you actually have to go through the comments.
To
the videos.
See, exactly. It's like a whole lot. So my thing is like, even through those comments, it hurts. But like, if someone were to be like, oh, that food looks oily as hell, like that shit sucks, then you can be like, okay, that hurt. You can cry about it, or whatever. But it's like, okay, it's too oily. Maybe that's something I can change. Maybe try and work on, using less oil, or it doesn't look seasoned enough, or it's like I feel like even the failures on the internet can lead to your success.
Yeah.
So I definitely think it's a great place. Yeah. What's your favorite platform
right now?
Social media.
Honestly, I like Instagram. I don't know, like it's something about Instagram. I just like the vibe of Instagram. But when it comes to like growing my brand, I would say TikTok. Because TikTok, like literally anything can go viral on TikTok. Like when I post a video, like sometimes like, like in the back of my head, like I'll know, okay, this is gonna go viral. This probably is gonna go viral. But then again, I'd be shocked. Some videos that I didn't expect to go viral goes viral. The videos that I do expect to go viral, they don't. So like, but anyways, I just think like TikTok is like the best like platform for like growing your brand. Like if you want to grow yourself, grow your brand, reach like millions of people, TikTok, it's the place. So
you're putting me on game right now.
Yeah.
I have to go check out TikTok. But I definitely think TikTok is ahead of the game. Like I feel like the people who made TikTok going into quarantine, their bread was here. And coming out of quarantine, their bread is like all the way over there. Because it's like, bro, TikTok was just one of those things. It was Vine. It was like Vine was gone. TikTok was the new Vine. And it's like no one thought about all these things. Like even you have Megan and people like you have Tory Lanez, all these people who having TikToks. Like a lot of major celebrities have TikTok now.
Exactly.
And it's like, it's crazy because you didn't even see that in Vine like that. You really saw more of the people who were trying to make it from Vine.
Yeah. So Vine was more of like funny videos. Yeah. TikTok is like, I feel like it started off funny, but now it's just like a bunch of creativity, like anything, like, So that's why I say, like, if you want to start your brand, do whatever, like, TikTok is the place to go. Like,
but what's crazy though is I feel like Vine could have been like TikTok. It could have been a place to promote your brand, because you could post any video on there.
You could, but there was a time limit. I think it was like 6 seconds, wasn't it, for Vine?
Was it 6 seconds?
It was really short.
It was really pretty short. Okay.
I think that's
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
But they increased it over time. I'm pretty sure.
Did they?
I think they increased it to about 30 seconds. I don't remember. Like later on, I feel like it increased because I saw some long videos on.
I just remember Vine just being like really short, like it's really short and funny, But I think back then, like when Vine was really big, I feel like social media the way it is now, it wasn't like that, So I feel like that's one of the reasons why Vine didn't like just blow off like TikTok. So.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna get into this fun part. I have to bring this up, but craziest stories when it comes to like brands reaching out to you, because I know on your page sometimes you post like some outrageous stuff of like what is this, like why are you telling me to do this, but like what is like some like craziest or like some stories it's just like, bro, are they really asking me to do this for this price, or like do they actually asking me to do this, like this doesn't make sense, like
I've had a lot, honestly. Like, it's way too much to even think of. I remember this one brand reached out to me. They wanted me to make like 10 videos for $150, $150, which is like 150 isn't even like the rate for like one video, you know? So one brand reached out to me for that. I was just like, okay, didn't respond. Another brand, lots of brands actually reach out and just be like, oh, I want to give you these, you know, free products. You just make these couple videos for us. And it's just like, why, like, for what? You know, like, I don't even know what your brand is, one. I wouldn't even buy this with my own money, too. So why would I do that for free, you know? So, like, a lot of brands do reach out to me. I remember this one brand, they wanted me to do, like, a try-on haul, like a review video for them. And they, you know, paid me money. I was like, okay, sure, why not? So I did it, and I have a contract anytime, like, money is involved. So in the contract, it says that, you know, I'll be honest, you know, not lying to my followers, none of that. And so I was honest, you know, I didn't really like their clothes. I didn't say that in the video, but, like, you know, you could kind of tell. And so before I post videos, I sent it to the brand for approval. I sent it to the brand, and they were upset. Like, they were so mad, like they were just going off, and they tried, you know, disputing the charges, and I was just like, you can't dispute it. Like, you saw the contract that you signed. It said I was going to be honest, you know. And the clothes were trash. So I was like, okay, if they were trash, you could have just told them. I was like, I told you guys, like, that's in the video, like, and they were like, okay, we'll send you some new items to review. I was like, no, it's okay, like, it's not that deep, you know, it's not that deep, like, you know. So yeah, when they tried to dispute the charge, of course, they didn't win the case. Like, they didn't win. Like, it said in the contract, I had proof. Like, you signed the contract. I was going to be honest. So after that, like, I never posted a video, but, you know, I still got my money anyway. But, yeah, a lot of brands, they reach out to me, like, trying to pay me with clothes. But it's like, if I wouldn't buy your clothes with my own money, then it's not going to work. It's just not going to work. So, yeah.
That's funny. Okay, if there's one designer brand that's the only thing you can wear for the rest of your life. You can't wear, like, once you pick that, like, anything. Like, if it's a T-shirt, a hat, a wristband, a ring, it has to be that brand. What would it be?
Louis Vuitton.
For real?
Louis Vuitton, yes.
Huh.
Louis
Why?
Vuitton.
Why?
The reason why is because I like Virgil. Like, I like him a lot. Like, I feel like what he does with, like, the menswear is just amazing. And I feel like I could definitely input that into my style. That, and because, like, their brand ranges, like, they have clothes, shoes, jewelry, all of that. And I feel like if I were to wear Louis Vuitton my entire life, I'd be fine. You know, I'd be fine. So, yeah, I'd say for sure Louis Vuitton.
So it's safe to say, like, dream big. It's safe to say, like, if Louis Vuitton were to reach out to you, you wouldn't care about, like,
the money? No, of course not. Oh, no. No way. Like, if you want to send me free clothes, by all means, do it.
I'll keep it.
Yeah. But one of my goals is to work, like, one day, like, as a creative director with Louis Vuitton. So that's another reason why I like the brand, too.
So what is, and you don't have to answer this question, just, you know, in case it's something that you keep to yourself, but what is, like, your ultimate goal with everything that you do?
My ultimate goal is I want BrittLooks to be global. Like, I want, you know, people, like, all around the world, like, to know about BrittLooks, you know, when it comes to, like, clothing, styling, designing, all of that. I want people to know about my name. So that's my ultimate goal.
That's pretty valid. And I feel like, honestly, no matter how small your brand is, like, some people start their brand, you know, with a silver spoon. Like, you know, some people start, you know, their podcast and have all the equipment in the studio and everything. And, you know, that's amazing because everyone wants to start there. But at the same time, some people start their podcast in their room with one mic and themselves. But I feel like if this was just something that you just did for fun, you didn't really care about, okay, that's cool. But I feel like if it's something that's your passion, personally, I don't feel like your goal should be like, oh, I just want my podcast to get like 1,000 views a week, and I'm cool with that. Or 1,000 views a video or audio, and I'm cool with that. I feel like every single thing that we do, like, no matter what brand it is, like, we kind of have to aim, like, you know, like, you have to aim to the biggest level.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, it's life. You might not get to the point that you want to get to, but I feel like when we aim so high, like, it makes us work even harder because we're not just looking at 1,000 people seeing this now. We're looking at, I want the whole country, the whole world to see this podcast. So it's like, okay, you're getting like maybe 50,000 views. It's like, okay, I love this. This is great. Like I didn't start off with this, but it's like, I can get 100,000. I get 1 million. I can get 2 million. I can get the whole world. And it's like, I feel like that brings out the most competitive and the best quality of work. And even personally, as a person, like I feel like I had to like instill that into myself because it just makes you work harder.
Yeah.
Because if you put a limit, then you just, when you're right there, even if you just hit so close to the limit, you're like, okay, I mean, at least I got that far.
Yeah.
And I feel like everyone needs to instill that in their brand. So I think that's actually amazing. What would you tell someone who's trying to not necessarily follow in your footsteps, but like go into what you're in right now, who doesn't know too much about it, that may be younger, older, same age? What would you tell them? Like, what would be your biggest advice to them?
My biggest advice, I would say don't stick to one thing. In any area that you're in, try to like capitalize in a way that's just like versatile. Like make sure you can do multiple things in that one area. Like for example, like, yeah, I'm into fashion, but I'm also good at content creation, styling, getting into designing. There's so much that you can do with fashion. So like when it comes to like whatever area or whatever passion you have, don't stick to just that one thing. Try to do more with it. And I feel like that's what brings in like a bigger crowd and more people, more traction. So yeah, I would just say don't stick to one thing. And also like don't second guess yourself. Because I feel like starting out, like I second guess myself a lot because like your vision, like even though like, your friends support you and whatnot, I feel like a lot of times they're not going to see what you see. So like when I was starting out, for example, like I was deciding whether or not I wanted to post like my first reel. And from one of my friends, I didn't really get the feedback I wanted, so, but I was like, you know what, let me just post it anyway. And, ended up getting a lot of views. So I just feel like don't second guess yourself. If you're really sure about something, then do it, just do it. Like, of course, like your friend's advice is like, you'll consider it, but like, don't second guess yourself. Just always go for it.
That's actually as real as it gets because I feel like when we have a vision of something, it's amazing to go out and ask somebody, what do you think? You seen a different eye. But like, I also feel like you always have to remember what your vision is because a lot of people, like a lot of us who are trying to start our own thing and create our own thing, we fall into that loop of changing your vision based on what someone's telling you. And that's really bad because it's like, at the end of the day, unless it's just like, I mean, but then again, who are we to say someone's vision is stupid? But unless it's just like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, I don't know. But it's like, I don't agree with people doing that because, you sat down, at least for me, when I was about to start my podcast and everything, I sat down and I thought to myself, this is what I want it to come out to be. This is my vision. I might start at this point, but then, I'm going to move on to this as well. In my case, I started just strictly sports. Everything I was doing was sports, because that was my strength. And I was like, okay, probably to the next season, I will start, just going all around. From the jump, that was my goal. It wasn't changing over time. My goal was to kind of get everyone to showcase their brand on my podcast, but let me start with my strength.
Yeah.
But I feel like in that kind of situation, so many people, they have this goal. Okay, if their goal were to be like, okay, this pen, I want this pen to be able to, write, and then I want to be able to erase things, a pen, like to be able to erase the writing or, have a flashlight or whatever you want to say, play music, whatever. Yeah. And then you go to your friend and it's like, okay, I want to make a pen that does this. And they're like, that's stupid. Why would you want to do that? Like, what pen can clean, And it's like, you can listen to them when it comes to like the beginning stages because, okay, maybe start your pen as just a regular pen because everyone needs pen, Yeah. So, and then over time, you can instill your vision into that. But I feel like a lot of people are just like, oh no, that doesn't make sense. Just make your pen make a fan of your pen. It's like, okay, I'm just going to throw away the whole idea of it, erasing and having a flashlight. Now I'm just going to go with this. And I feel like a lot of people fall into that, and it's very important not to because it's like that's where you get confused, and now you're just trying shit, and then it's not even working out for you. But that's free game for y'all, because I don't really give out free game for anybody like that. But to round up this podcast or this episode, dead or alive, 5 of your role models, famous, like famous people, you get to, okay, how do I do this? I'm usually good at this stuff. Okay, I got you. You get to be in like an Airbnb that's fully paid for by whoever, and with 5 of your role models for a whole week, you know, to learn from them, hang out with them, turn up with them, whatever. Who you bringing with you?
Okay, first would be Michael Jackson.
Shout out to the GOAT.
I love Michael Jackson. Second would be Rihanna. Third would be Virgil. Fifth, who is this my role model? This could be anybody, right?
Yeah, anybody.
Okay, Beyonce.
Beyonce.
And last one, let me make this good. Let's see.
We don't have to know them. It could be like anybody.
Okay. Okay. Kanye, he's not necessarily my role model, but I just feel like I could learn a lot from him.
You think that vibe is gonna go well during that Airbnb?
Look, if we just exclude all of that out, I just feel like I just know Kanye just has so much like knowledge about, I don't know, a lot of things.
Definitely.
You know, I wouldn't necessarily say he's like my role model, but I just feel like there's something I could learn from him, you know? So I would say Kanye probably, yeah.
Nah, bro, y'all gonna be chilling in the living room just having girls time. He's gonna walk in. Kim sucks. He's like talking about random things. It's gonna be like
I don't know. I don't know. It's just something about Kanye that I really like. You know, granted that like, you know, it's a lot going on with him, but if we just exclude all that stuff and just like think about like his craft and what he does, like I just feel like there's so much to learn from him. So.
Nah, definitely. I definitely think, like I said earlier, I definitely think he's a genius. I think like there's so much you can learn from him. I'd love to have a day with Kanye too, to learn. Like I feel like there's so much shit that you can learn from him that you probably never even thought about. Because even the videos of certain things that he says, sometimes it's like, you know, but like a lot of times, majority of the time, it's like, you understand why he's a billionaire. Like same with Jay-Z. And a lot of these people who are making it, you understand why they got there.
Yeah.
Because they're built different than a lot of us, or a lot of, you know, the people out here. But, okay. I think I can be good with that. As for me, if I were to go on a trip like that I'm not gonna learn shit. Cause I'm gonna grab all the people that, you know, all the people that I know, like, you know, Travis Scott, all of them, and I'm just gonna go crazy. And on the last day, I'm gonna be like, oh shit, what can y'all tell me about this? But it's like, no. I feel like that's a solid list. I definitely feel like it. I feel like that's a great trip. But thank you so much, Brittany, for hopping on this podcast. I really appreciate you, all the way from Austin. You know, you just, you know, even though you were going to be here already, you didn't have to come in here. So I really appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem.
Appreciate Mansfield Recording Studio for having me once again. Another episode is complete. It's a wrap. Y'all make sure to subscribe, like, comment, and we're now on Apple Music and Apple Podcasts. I'm not a musician. Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Y'all make sure to stream, and I'll see y'all next episode. Peace out.